Okay, let's talk about the proxy pattern. The proxy pattern consists of a substitute or representative of an object that controls access to it. It allows things like lazy loading, create real object only when needed, access control, validate permissions or roles before executing operations, login, caching, intercepts call to log or store results. The proxy implements the same interface as a real object, so the client always interacts with the proxy and never directly with the real object. So let's say that we have three objects. The client, which is your code, your client code. It could be a controller or a service. Then the proxy, the class which you are going to talk to, and that's all what you know. The client knows the proxy, but the client does not know about the real subject. It's like a stuntman in a movie, right? When you see the movie, you think that you are looking at the real actor, but it's a stuntman. Uh, but you never know that. You think that what you are really doing is the real actor. So let's see how these work. Uh, I gotta show you this first, the image interface. It only has this method display. And that's it. That's all what we need to know. And then we got the real image class. This is a class that allows you to pass one file name, and then it's going to store that file name here, and immediately after that it's going to execute uh, this method, which is this right here. And this method is going to load the image. Sometimes it may take a few seconds. It takes some time and resources. And look, it's implementing the image interface. So it has to implement this method as well. And let's take a look at the proxy, which is the one you are going to talk to. This is the class. You also can see that this proxy image is implementing the image interface. That's why you got this method here. And in its constructor, it also is receiving a file name, which is being stored here. And when you execute the display method, the first thing it does is it got a property called real image here. So this property, if it is new, then it calls to this class the real image, which is the one that is behind it. So it stored that real image here, and and then display the image. Okay, that's what it does. So let's see in the code what's going on. The client code. I got it in the controller. It must be here. So what you see here is that you are talking with the proxy image. You are not talking with the real image. You may not even know that exists a real image class. And you are creating an image one and an image two. And when you execute the first time the image one, what you are doing is you are loading the image. That takes time, and then show the image. And the second time you execute the image, it only shows the image because it's already loaded. And in the case of the image 2, because it is the first time, then it loads and then it is being shown. Let's see how this is being represented in our web browser. So the first time uh, the image 1 is being executed, it happened all this. The image is loaded and then show it. And the second time Uh, it doesn't need to load because it's already loaded, and it is showing. It is showed by the real image class. And in the case of the photo 2, the image 2, because it is being executed just one time, it has to load the image and it has to show it. So that's how it works. I got another example for you. It is about let's see it here. We got it right here. This other example shows us a database proxy. Uh, if you pass in the constructor admin for administrator, you're gonna get a database for an administrator. If you write guess, then you're gonna get the guess database. And if you execute this code, the query method is going to be allowed. But in the second instance of the database proxy, if you execute the same code, it's going to be denied because you're not an admin. Let's see how these work in the code. Uh, let's see it's over here. This is the real database. Real into real database is implementing the database interface, which is here. It has a query, and you got a proxy. Let me see where it is. Database proxy is here. So you're really talking with this class, right? It implements the same interface. That's why you have the query here. This method is being executed. And then what it does internally, well, let's start here. When you pass their user role, admin, it is stored here, right? The same thing for a user, a normal user, a guest. And as soon as you do that, this is calling the real database, the real subject, right? The real class. And it is storing that database here. And then when you execute for the first time the query, it asks if the user is a role, admin. The user role is admin. And then because it is admin, then it says access allowed, and then execute this code. But if it is a guest, a normal user, it only prompts access denied for this user role. So let's see how this could work in the uh, in the browser. Proxy 2, and it says allowed for the admin. It's executing the select or asterisk from users, and for the guest it says access denied. So that's how it works. It's easy. It's just a stuntman, you know. Uh, it's yeah, like a movie. You think that you are talking with a real person, but it's not the real person. Behind that could be another person that this is calling. Well, that's it. It's not so complicated. That's how it works. You can download the code. You can watch the video again. Uh, Click like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for listening.